So, if third-party candidates aren't even on the ballot in every state, and if they get such a little percentage of the vote, why do they make a difference? The truth is that they actually make a huge difference in elections, and we're going to be showing you that right now. So, this isn't all the parties. I think there are 12 here. One sec. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there are 12 different parties here, and this isn't even all the political parties in the United States. This doesn't include the Republican or Democratic Party, and so that's 14 so far, and I'm sure there are more. These are the third parties that have gained popularity in recent years, but not all of them are on the ballot. So this is the electoral map from 2016, when Donald Trump won the presidential election. As you can see, Donald Trump won with 306 electoral votes and beat Hillary Clinton, who had 232 electoral votes. The Donald Trump received less overall votes with 46.1% of the vote tally, while Hillary Clinton took 48.2%, about 3 million more votes. However, Gary Johnson, the Libertarian, had about 4.5 million total votes, so 3.3% of the total vote tally. And Jill Stein, while still not getting any electoral votes, had 1.5 million total votes. This is across the entire United States. Gary Johnson, Jill Stein, so third parties, had 4.4% of the total vote tally in the United States. So how does only 4.4% of the vote make a difference? As you can see, Donald Trump had approximately 63 million votes, and Hillary Clinton had approximately 66 million votes. Third parties had 5 million votes. The difference between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump's vote total is 3 million, which is less than the third party vote of 5 million votes. So that's the first thing. But you have to remember that the popular vote winner doesn't win the election. It's the one who has the most electoral college votes. And that means it's on a state-by-state basis. This is why you hear about swing states. We are going to learn more about the Electoral College later in the interim, but I'm going to point out 3 states that it really would have made a difference in 2016. So in Michigan, the difference between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton was 0.3% of the votes. Donald Trump won by only 11,612 votes. The third-party votes in this state was 4.7% of the vote, which was 213,767. Listen, good for those guys that got votes, but nobody got above 50% of the votes, and now Donald Trump wins all 16 electoral votes for Michigan. The same thing happened in Wisconsin. The difference between Trump and Clinton were 3% of the vote, which was about 27,257 votes. The third-party vote was 4.7% of the vote at 137,422 votes, which means that Wisconsin, even though nobody won 50% of the vote, nobody won a majority, what you have is that 10 electoral votes go to Donald Trump, and he wins Wisconsin outright, even though he only won by 27,000 votes. And the third state we're going to talk about is Pennsylvania. The difference between Trump and Clinton in Pennsylvania was 1.2% of the vote, which was 68,236 votes. The third party vote was 4% of the vote, totaling 212,461 votes. Pennsylvania's 20 electoral college votes went to Donald Trump, even though, again, he did not win a majority of the votes. He ended up at 48.8. I know you can't assume that all third-party votes would go to Clinton, but if just 60% of those third-party votes did in those 3 states, Hillary Clinton would have won the election with 278 electoral votes compared to 268 electoral votes to Donald Trump. This means that the election was literally decided by less than 30,000 votes across 3 states. And in those 3 states, about 300,000 people voted for third-party candidates. So even without winning a state, third-party candidates often have a huge influence on the outcome of election. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So what does that mean for the 2020 election? To be honest, we have no idea. There are polls, there are different people who study this, and most of the research shows that third-party candidates will not play a major role in 2016. However, whether you believe that third-party candidates are good or bad for American democracy, because many people have different feelings about this, they always have had an influence on the outcome of elections. So your activity for this week is that to look up third-party candidates. Third-party candidates have never won a presidential election, but that doesn't mean they haven't had an effect on the outcome of an election. Do a quick web search for your third-party candidates. Other than 2016, find another example of a third-party candidate having an effect on the outcome of the election. You must include the year, the candidate, the party that they were affiliated with, and how the outcome was changed because of this third-party candidate. All right.